one more weekend for a good cross-country marathon, this time in Virovitica. A well-organized race gathered almost 60 contenders near a spacious football field almost in the center of Virovitica. As part of the start pack, we got all the usual stuff, but again, an ambiguous item. Last weekend it was a pack of cheese, this weekend it was a toothbrush with toothpaste. I guess you put what the sponsors give. After a short warm-up and a number plate setup, we were off to the start. A flying start was organized this time, meaning we were riding behind an escort vehicle until the start. This went on for the first 6 kilometers, which was unusually long.
Jel viš ti to? Kakva smo elita?
In some races, even when there is a flying start, the first contenders hit the pedal so hard that it almost feels like it's not a close start. Luckily, this time we went nice and steady, which was a great as a good warm-up. Take a look at this moment when the racer in front of me is throwing his water bottle on the side. This is called a supply drop, where a participant drops food or water to race light but pick up the water on the second lap. As we were behind each other on the first sprint, we almost went straight on the first turn into the single track. After a short pedal, we already had descents where you could tuck in and try gaining speed as much as possible. The marathon had 2 route options and I chose the long one, which was 2 laps of the short one, summing up to 45 kilometers and almost 1,200 meters of climb. Considering the first half of the lap is almost all single track, it wasn't easy to overtake participants, but I was patient and chose good spots that were safe and where I wouldn't burn myself down. A hot and dry day with a steady 35 degrees meant the trail was dusty, making some turns quite sketchy, especially when you don't know the route. Choosing the right time to attack and maintain advantage was crucial, and I'm happy I did all the overtakes very smoothly. Just after the dust fest, this sharp turn announced the steepest climb of the race. You can see that some people even pushed up the hill because how steep it was.
Nadam se da ti nije bilo previše prašine iza. Pamti pa vrati.
With all the adrenaline and rush, it was easy to forget to hydrate, which I always have to remind myself to do often, because when you feel thirsty, it's often already too late. The single track section did not give us a lot of room to rest. It was all up and down, with some small holes making it bumpy for racers on hardtail bikes. It may be hard to see, but this guy got wiped off and crashed, continuing with blood and scratches. After a fair amount of wide unpaved roads, we were back on some steep forest climbs, slowly rounding up the first lap.
Ovo, evo. Da, dva.
Bude dalje?
Okej, budem na zonu još.
Dva ili jedan?
Može voda samo unutra.
Ne kažeš jebote, pa nisam znao da će Šibac.
Hvala. Ma ne, sad sam si baš iz ovog napio dosta.
Aj, samo ovo dalje piva. Broj 5, da?
Hvala Bog. Let's go!
This time I remembered to pay attention and anticipate the sharp turn after the first descent.
Let's focus. There should be a turn here very soon. All right, that's it. That's much better.
After the first few single tracks and descents, I realized I was in a dead zone. This term stands for the part of the race where you get in a gap between other racers and ride alone. This can be challenging as you may lose focus or have difficulty pushing yourself to go faster. This time I went smooth in the dustbin and recovered well to attack the steepest climb of the race. And luckily, seeing a glimpse of another participant far in front of me, giving me a new boost in motivation to push harder. It wasn't easy, but eventually I overtook another 2 racers. With nobody else in front of me or behind, I kept pushing steadily to reach the finish of the race.
Samo jako!
Bog. Jesi vozao?
Jesam, bilo je puno lakše nego Koprivnica.
Da,
I generalno okej.
Volite finiš.
Hvala vam.
Klasično sad.
Da. Je.
Kategorija muškarci od 30 do 39 godina. Staje na papi. Igor Bajček. Prvo mjesto, Benin Pogović.
The award ceremony was nice. After congratulating the winners, we had a warm meal and headed down to Virovitica to stroll around the beautiful castle in the city center and grab a coffee before heading back home. Thank you for watching and see you at the next race.